Korean pop music syrupy tones seem rather innocent. Girls' generation's music or Psy's Gangnam Style may not appear like hotbeds of corruption, but every successful K-pop song is the result of years of abuse and exploitation. Starting when they are young, aspiring stars are put through the ringer of one of the cruelest entertainment industries in the world. Children as young as 10 years old get locked into unbreakable decade-long contracts, spending their greater portion of their lives owned by agencies that take advantage of them creatively and sexually. Most are simply chewed up and spit out, yet some emerge as celebrities. They endure years of exploitation and pimping out before being cast aside with little to show for their journey through the peculiarly sinister and twisted world of Korean bubblegum pop. Welcome to the Quick List. If you're new to the channel, hit the like and subscribe button to be updated with the latest videos such as this. Number 10. Stars enter into slave contracts as young children. Pop stars in Korea don't merely sign contracts and put out albums. Before they even enter a studio or sing a single note, they sign their contracts a good 10 years in advance. Before they are allowed to record anything, they must spend around 10 years training in K-pop boot camps, which often begin when they are between the ages of 10 and 13. When they are still young, agencies have them sign contracts, and they then hold them accountable for the terms of the contracts for the rest of their lives. These contracts would frequently be for up to 13 years. Performers would continue to be bound by their contracts long after their fame bubble burst. The contracts typically provide prospective stars very little. They occasionally even have to reimburse the agency for the initial 10 years of boot camp. And there is no escape from these circumstances. When a pop artist wants to cancel, they frequently have to pay the agency 3 times what the business invested in them, or more than 3 times what they have ever made. But at its worst, that's how it was. Even if lawsuits have helped to some extent, the system is still designed to ensure that everything you're going to read is a mistake and that adults are still held accountable for agreements they made when they were minors. Number 9. Their stars are promoted by managers. Jang Jae-eun, a Korean actress, was discovered dead in her apartment in 2009. She had killed herself because, as she wrote in her note, she was sick of being pampered by every CEO she encountered. She said that her boss had made her work for influential people. He would beat her bloody if she tried to object. When the police searched her agency's office, they discovered a secret sex room concealed behind a paneled wall on the 3rd floor of the structure. To entertain VIPs, they had a brothel within their office, and they made their stars do the entertaining. Although it wasn't an isolated instance, it made headlines in South Korea. In order to progress their careers, 2/3 of all Korean girls in the entertainment industry claim that they have been forced to have sex with a CEO or a politician. It's standard practice in the Korean entertainment industry to operate in this manner. In Korea, as one anonymous female put it, you have to know men in order to work. Coming in at number 8. 1 in 3 celebrities have experienced sexual assault. There is a considerable likelihood that an aspiring celebrity will be sexually raped by her manager even if she values her virtue so much that she risks obscurity and refuses to be pimped out. It happens a lot. 1/3 of ambitious Korean stars have reportedly been assaulted, according to a survey. A talent coach at Open World Entertainment by the name of Jang Suk-woo was among the worst offenders. Jang, who treated the aspiring stars as his own personal harem, was given responsibility by the corporation for selecting new recruits and putting them through boot camp. More than 20 people, including several juveniles, accused Jang of rape. Jang would often rape the females when they were unconscious after drugging their beverages. Other times, while watching on CCTV, he would give the lads orders to gang rape the girls. Jang was ultimately sent to prison, but he is but one among many. The majority of the women in Korean entertainment who experienced it don't talk about it, but 33% of them do. Every woman who brought a claim against Jang had been rejected by the industry and had never received the stardom they had been promised, indicating that if a female succeeds, there's a good possibility she's been through all of this and has simply kept quiet about it. Number 7. A star's plastic surgery is required. Additionally, not only women receive something in their contracts. In Korea, it's just fine for both guys and girls to get a contract and finding a clause where it says if they want to enter K-pop boot camp, they're going to have a nose job done. However, plastic surgery is so common in South Korea that many hardly give it a second thought. By the end of their 20s, half of all Korean women undergo plastic surgery, the majority of which involves double eyelid procedures to make their eyes resemble those of Europeans. But few contest the fact that an aspiring K-pop singer must entirely reshape her face to be the epitome of perfection. A journalist who was trying to write an expose on it interviewed as many celebrities as she could, and she claimed that the majority of them didn't even comprehend her concerns. The majority of wannabe celebrities agreed, saying it's nice to get attractive. Number 6. K-pop stars are poorly paid. A K-pop artist is unlikely to make any money until he gets a hit song. Most of them eat microwaved noodles and share a room with their bandmates. It even occurs to famous people. One of the Girls' Generation members claimed that she had to spend 11 years in boot camp before she could start earning her own money, relying entirely on her parents' generosity. Then some even lose money. When the band Block B admitted that their agency hadn't paid them in more than a year, they were one of the top bands in the nation. Their parents were compelled to provide the agency $65,000, and up to this point, they had received nothing in return. The majority of the time, singers are forced to perform tasks they don't enjoy in order to generate money. When the band Stellar bowed to their agency and began producing erotic music videos in which they exposed their thongs and allowed milk drip suggestively out of their lips, they were able to survive by sharing one plate of food between 4 individuals each meal. One member of the group claimed, "When we didn't have skin exposure, nobody even knew we released a new song," explaining why she had come to terms with her predicament. There is no reaction if it's not offensive. Enjoying the list? Hit the like and subscribe button to see more videos like this. Coming in at number 5. Trainees in the boot camp must perform several tasks. The roughly 10 years that aspiring K-pop stars spend honing their craft are spent in living situations that are similar to slavery. It's standard procedure to forbid aspiring singers from using smartphones or going out on dates. They are instructed that they must first have a successful record if they wish to enjoy a social life. However, they don't simply spend those 10 years rehearsing singing and dancing, they also work. One performer named Joe Kwan informed the media that he was made to serve the executives coffee, perform odd duties, and clean the basement floor while he was in boot camp. South Korea has been attempting to control how these children are handled, as we previously mentioned, yet even their new, progressive rules are absurd by Western standards. In 2014, just the fundamental rights to learn, rest, and sleep were guaranteed to young celebrities. Children under May 15 only be required to work 35 hours a week, according to the radical new laws. Providing they aren't on tour, of course. The legislation has an exception that allows agents to pretty much make kids work as much as they like if there is travel involved. However, because they can be released from their contract at any time, children must consent to all of this. One K-pop singer said, "You feel insecure every day. You might be fired from the company one day," she said. Number 4. The clients of managers are blackmailed. K-pop performers occasionally earn enough money to break free from their contracts. Rarely are they able to move on to a higher offer, which is why many agencies continue to preserve some information about its stars. One boss wanted to use the fact that one of his male clients was a secret gay against him after learning of it. He hired a man to entice the rising star, concealed a camera in his home, and secretly recorded them having sex. The young man's parents were then sent the footage, and he subsequently threatened to make it public unless they paid him $500,000. It even occurs to famous people. When she attempted to change contracts, the manager of a prominent K-pop artist named Baek Ji-young secretly filmed her having sex and used it as leverage. Her career was completely derailed for years when she tried to call his bluff and he leaked it online. When Baek attempted to file charges against the manager, Kim Suk-jin, she fled to the US. He was able to continue being just as sleazy as he had been in South Korea for many years. He was finally detained after being discovered committing statutory rape. Number 3. Bribery is pervasive. A K-pop agency has other options besides just pimping out celebrities to obtain what it wants. Sometimes, they just hand over large sums of money. It's regarded standard procedure for an agency to handle everything by delivering a bribe to a TV network when it comes to getting a new star's debut song on the radio. It is merely a component of business in South Korea. According to one CEO, bribing is marketing. You may achieve the greatest impact with the least amount of money. Millions of cash have been given by agencies to networks in exchange for airtime and plugs, and most of the time they get away with it. It has only a few times gone to court, and that only happens when it becomes absurd, like the time a music executive entered the building of a TV network with shopping bags full of wadded-up dollars. One agent tried to defend it by saying that taking a client out for drinks and bribes aren't all that dissimilar. He admitted, "Sometimes we spend $3,300 partying with 4 or 5 guys. We occasionally run out of time, so we just give them $1,600. Number 2. Taxi services help fans in stalking K-pop stars. If a singer survives all of this and succeeds in becoming a celebrity, they will have to deal with a new issue: the audience. Hardcore K-pop fans do more than just send fan mail and create Angelfire fan sites. The stars are their prey. Stalking K-pop artists is prevalent enough that they have a term for it, sassying, and entire businesses are dedicated to helping sassying fans stalk their favorite singers. K-pop fans may hire a sassying taxi to follow their favorite artists everywhere they go for $100. It can sometimes be fatal. Super Junior was being trailed by a mob of fans and sassying taxis when they suddenly crashed into the band's tour bus. They started a 6-car collision that could have killed the band and permanently traumatized the participants. But K-pop enthusiasts go bonkers even when they're not driving. Popular groups have seen some bizarre privacy invasions. One discovered that supporters had tapped their phones. In his parking lot, another guy discovered a camera. Another claims that a girl only broke into his house to take his underpants. The JYJ group has to claim the craziest tale. They have griped about receiving fan letters written in menstrual blood. And certainly, those words should be plural, as in a number of letters from various fans. And in the top spot, their anti-fans attempt to murder them. However, K-pop stars have more than simply fans. They also have anti-fans, who basically just want them dead. These folks mostly merely post derogatory comments on message boards, but occasionally they go a little bit further. One has actually succeeded in poisoning a star, at least. K-pop singer Yunho was sent to the ER when a fan put a poisonous glue in his drink. Yunho was traumatized by the event. Years passed before he could trust another person, he would later recall. However, Daniel Lee, alias Tableau, a Korean musician who inspired a whole movement devoted to destroying his life, is undoubtedly the target of the cruelest anti-fans. People started threatening Lee's life after he claimed to have attended Stanford University and they didn't trust him. Lee attempted to calm them down by displaying his master's degree and securing Stanford's support, but it was unsuccessful. It became viciously alleged that he had stolen the identity of a Stanford graduate. People would phone his mother and at least one would yell, "You're a whore." People would send him texts calling him a liar and warning him to guard his back. Over the phone at her. For a while, Lee stopped making music because he was so afraid for his life. He has now returned, but in his lowest points, he acknowledged that he had had valid concerns about someone trying to murder his children. He admitted to being harmed and said to a reporter, "I don't know whether I'll ever be better." Know any out-of-the-ordinary facts from your favorite K-pop group? Let me know in the comments section down below. Again, this has been the Quick List. And we'll see you on the next one.